Good evening. In a huge setback for the Congress party, its former president Rahul Gandhi has been disqualified from the Lok Sabha because of his conviction in a 2019 criminal defamation case. He's been sentenced, in fact, to 2 years in jail, something that he's going to challenge. The Lok Sabha Secretariat also declared his constituency vacant. The Election Commission can now announce a special election for the seat. The Congress has called it a conspiracy to silence the Wayanad MP. So that's what we're going to be looking at first on this program. I'm joined by the Lok Sabha MP of the Congress, Jyotimani, and also Sanju Verma, national spokesperson of the BJP. Thank you both very much for being with us. Jyotimani, what the law says is absolutely clear, that in a situation like this, a person convicted of any offence and sentenced to imprisonment for not less than 2 years shall be disqualified from the date of such conviction and shall continue to be disqualified for a period of 6 years. This being the case, what are you necessarily arguing about? The rules are absolutely clear.
See, it's not only rules, it's about the political situation around it. Rahul Gandhi is the one voice, one sane, courageous, fearless voice against the Narendra Modi government. The day he spoke about Adani Narendra Modi scam in the parliament, then onwards they are targeting him. He was not allowed to speak in the parliament even while he was a member. We have been repeatedly protesting in the well to give him an opportunity to speak. He wrote 2 letters to a speaker, but nothing was responded. So even he was a member of parliament, this was the situation. There was a very strong attempt to muzzle his voice, silence him was going on in the parliament. But nevertheless, we will not we will not.
What is happening in parliament now and the Congress allegation that their questions are not answered as far as Hindenburg is concerned is one thing. This is about something that happened several years back. All I'm trying to say is that he is out of parliament today because he has been found to have broken the law of defamation, and the laws are very clear. If
no, it is not that he is out of parliament today because he spoke the truth. Everything is connected in politics. He is out of parliament today just because he spoke the truth to power. Just because actually he spoke against the government, he speak for the people, price rise, unemployment, he speak against the corruption, he speak against Adani, he spoke the truth. That is why he is out of parliament today.
No, he did not speak about many of those issues in 2018. It was a specific remark on the use of the name Modi, where he equated the Prime Minister with 2 individuals who are believed to have been corrupt and are criminals, according to some. So,
are those individuals went to court? No. The point is very simple here. After Bharat Jodo Yatra, Kanyakumari to Kashmir, there are millions of people who have followed and supported, showing affection to Rahul ji. So he is capable of unseating the corrupt and anti-people Narendra Modi government. He will become the Prime Minister of the country. This government, Narendra Modi government and RSS, Mr. Modi is afraid of Mr. Rahul Gandhi. That is why actually they are doing this kind of things. But Congress party will never ever will succumb to this kind of pressure and tactics. I want to quote something. Exactly 100 years back, 1922, Mahatma Gandhi was implicated in a fake case, sedition case. He was convicted the same 2 years. Then he won that battle. He ran the freedom movement. He chased the British out of this great land. The same way, 100 years later, Rahul Gandhi fabricated in a fake case, convicted 2 years. Rahul Gandhi will fight this case and win the battle and launch a second independence movement and throw this Narendra Modi anti-people corrupt government out. This is the history is repeating itself. This will happen. We will not budge any tactics or any kind of silence act which they try to silence us. That never going to happen. We will speak against Adani, we will speak against corruption, we will speak against unemployment, we will speak against
Sure, Jyotimani, 1 second. Sanju Verma with us as well. Sanjuji, the point that the Congress party has been making is that all of this is interconnected, that this is all a part of silencing Rahul Gandhi, not letting him say what he has to say, and thereby targeting the opposition, in this case the Congress. How would you respond?
Vishnu, thanks for having me on your show for what's been a very, very prolonged and long gap.
Yes, it's been far too long. Glad to have you back, but do go ahead.
Yes, it's been far too long. coming to the moot point, without beating around the bush, let me just say this, that in 2019, Patna High Court gave Rahul Gandhi a clean chit, and the case was this very case for which the Surat District Court has convicted him. And at that time, the Patna High Court, while giving Rahul Gandhi a clean chit, said, do you wish to express remorse or regret? And Rahul Gandhi, which is typical, his style of being audaciously arrogant, he refused to express any form of regret, remorse, much less giving out an unconditional apology. Now, things have come back to haunt him and bite him. Contrary to the Patna High Court judgment, the Surat District Court very categorically found that the charges pertaining to criminal defamation under Section 499 and 500 of the IPC are bona fide and stand ground and how. And my simple question is this, that why is Rahul Gandhi sulking, whining, ranting, crying on national television? He has four alternatives, Vishnu. He can go for an appeal to the Sessions Court in Gujarat. He can file a SLP with the Supreme Court. He can, under Article 32 of the Constitution, go to the Supreme Court and claim that his rights are being undermined, which is what the Congress leadership has been peddling in the last 24 hours in any case. Or he has the fourth alternative of knocking on the doors of the President of India and asking that the judgment be overturned. So my simple suggestion to the Congress party is, rather than crying on national television ki democracy khatre mein hai, you have legal options, please make use of those. And I will just say one more thing without being very verbose. Kabhi-kabhi, sometimes there are cases where people on the spur of the moment, in the heat of the moment, all of us who are in public life, we are given to moments of passion when we say things which we regret in hindsight. But
Exactly.
Rahul Gandhi is a repeat and a habitual offender.
No, but Sanju, Sanju, here's where I disagree with you.
Vishnu, 20 seconds, please. Just indulge me for 20 seconds. Even as you and me are speaking currently, there are 4 cases pending against Rahul Gandhi, one in the Mazgaon court in Maharashtra, one in the Bhiwandi court in Maharashtra, one in the Jharkhand High Court, and one, another case in Bihar. And in all these cases, the charge is alike, criminal defamation, because he said RSS ne Mahatma Gandhi ko maar diya. In one case, he says that Gauri Lankesh was killed because of the
Sanju,
RSS
one second.
ideology.
Sanju, let's get a reply to that. Jyotibani ji, the point the BJP is making is that Rahul Gandhi is a repeat offender. She is named 4 separate cases. Please reply to that.
See, my leader is not like RSS Savarkar, no, who go and touch the British feet and apologize. No wonder there is a descendant of apologetic people, RSS people. They actually keep the apology in high regard. But we are the people who fought the British. We are brave, we are courageous, we are truthful. Why we have to apologize? We are proud of our leader who refused to apologize. So that is the difference between RSS and Congress, RSS BJP leaders and Congress leaders. Let's be very clear. Rahul Gandhi spoke the truth. Tell me, who is Meghal Sakshi, who is Nirav Modi, who is Lalit Modi? They are all actually, Nirav Modi has swindled 17,000 crore. Whose money is this? Ordinary people money, hardworking people money, poor people money, middle class people money. He swindled those money, and with the escort of this government, he flee the country. It's the same case with 2 others. Who are all there? They are all Mr. Narendra Modi's friends. So this is what Rahul Gandhi has spoken. Rahul Gandhi is not speaking something for himself. He is speaking on behalf of the people of the country.
One point
He is
of
voice
clarity.
of this country.
Sanju,
It doesn't
half a
matter
second.
actually what come may.
One point of
Apologetic for
clarification.
speaking the truth. That is not in our blood.
Got it. You believe that
I
Rahul
need to
Gandhi
come
was
in here.
speaking the truth. You know, he made a tweet today where he seemed to suggest that he would face the consequences, whatever they were. Is Rahul Gandhi preparing to go to jail? Is that something that he's willing to accept as a possible reality? I am ready to pay any cost, is what he said.
This is the situation. This is the situation in this country. Just because of one opposition leader speaking the truth, raising the issue which is concerning the people, you think as an anger he may go to jail. This is a situation. We will not budge anything. When we said this, we are speaking the truth. Are we lying to the country? Are we fighting for ourselves? Or Rahul Gandhi fighting for himself? He is fighting for this country. This country is looted with the help of the Prime Minister. Crores of people suffering because of that. That is what Rahul Gandhi is speaking. Why should he afraid of speaking the truth?
I need to come in here.
Sanju, go ahead.
She's made some allegations. Let me come in. Okay. First and foremost, let me tell the Congress and the lady here. She said that Rahul Gandhi is fighting for the country. So, madam, now I did not heckle you, but you need to listen to the hard truth. Rahul Gandhi goes to Cambridge. He addresses the British Parliament, and he says that China illegally acquired 2,000 square kilometers in India, despite Rajnath Singh, despite the Home Minister Amit Shah, and despite the External Affairs Mr. Jaishankar saying not an inch of land has been taken. When Rahul Gandhi undermines the senior leadership of the country, I'm not talking of Modi government, when you go and make public declarations against the Defense Minister, the Home Minister, and the External Affairs Minister of India, what are you doing? You're engaging in treason and sedition. Point number one. Point number two. You spoke about
Sanjuji, is there any doubt about the fact that China has come into Indian territory?
Let me please finish, Vishnu. You did not heckle her even once.
No, it's a point. No, Sanjuji, it's a point of correction. You can say that Rahul Gandhi should not have said these remarks on foreign soil, but I think the content of what he said, particularly when it comes to China, was not necessarily wrong.
Let me please finish. Let me, I will not allow anyone, including you, Vishnu, to digress from the topic. Now, let me speak about this Adani thing, because the Adani brouhaha has been at the epicenter. Madam Jyotimani, there are 7 publicly listed companies of Adani, and I know my investment banking and stock markets better than most people in this country. I say that with a lot of confidence. Out of these 7 publicly listed companies, 5 of the Adani publicly listed companies came into existence during Congress regimes. And do you know, Vishnu, that the first time Adani set up his commodity trading business, who was the Prime Minister of India? It was Rajiv Gandhi. When Adani set his first flagship company, Adani Enterprises, who was the Prime Minister of this country? It was P.V. Narasimha Rao. So before you make allegations, let me tell you one more thing. They keep talking about Adani. Now, Supreme Court has constituted a 7-member committee under the aegis of Justice Sapre, saying that they will look into the affairs of Adani.
Okay.
And out of these 7 members, Vishnu, 85% are anti-BJP. But have you seen
All right,
BJP?
well, hopefully they are not anti-BJP
national
or pro-BJP. They are responsible to the court. Sanju, half a
BJP
second.
been crying
Hold on.
on
Sanju, one second. No fighting between any of us here. Jyotimani ji, I need to wrap this up, but I am giving you 45 seconds to respond to what she has said before I move on. Jyotimani ji, last word to you, please go ahead.
Why is she suddenly jumping to disqualification to Cambridge and other things? This is the problem with the BJP. I am pinpointing, say, Prime Minister Narendra Modi involving in corruption through his friends. He looted this nation. Rahul ji is fearlessly speaking about that.
You got to let us
speak.
Sanju,
Disqualified from the parliament today. That is the fact. That is the point. But we will never budge.
No. Sanju, we don't do that. We don't do things like this. Sanju, we do not do things like this.
And the Congress party.
She has not interrupted you once. Sanju, she has not interrupted you like once. Ma'am, we don't do this on my show. We don't shout like this. Sanju ji, please. We don't, ma'am, we don't do this, Sanju, please. She has not interrupted you. Please don't interrupt her.
Have some manners and decorum and dignity in public discourse.
Sanju, you're on national television.
Against the Prime Minister. I'm sorry, Vishnu.
Sanju, let her make her point. You made your point. Sanju, you made your point. Let her make her point.
Scurrilous remarks against the Prime
No,
Minister.
Sanju, 1 minute. She's not even made her point. Let her make her point.
You did not intervene.
Sanju, 1 minute. Wait. It doesn't work like that. She has to make her point.
Yes,
you made your point.
Tell me how it
Please
works.
let her say.
You don't tell me how it works.
Please let her say what she has to say. Please let her say what she has to say. Jyotimani ji, please go ahead. 45 seconds. make your point, please.
See, this is what happening exactly in the parliament. Decorum and decency, nothing is followed by
Yes,
BJP,
we don't
whether
need
it is
bhashan on
outside or
decorum
inside
and
the
decency
parliament.
from you.
The point is that the corruption,
You
Narendra
cannot
Modi,
make
none other than
silence
Prime
remarks
Minister of
against
this
the
country,
Prime
is
Minister.
directly involving in the corruption with his friends. Rahul Gandhi exposing
me
it,
proof.
and he is
Show
speaking
me
for the
proof.
people who are suffering from price rise.
Yeah, Rahul Gandhi is
Shouting
not
me
on
down
bail
will not
All
hide
right,
your
I need to
corruption.
wrap this up.
Shouting
I
me down
apologize,
will not hide
Jyoti
your
Mani ji.
anti-national government.
Jyoti Mani ji, I apologize to you.
Shouting me down
Sanju
will
Varma,
not
we don't do
acquit you
debates
from
like this.
any kind of
You have to allow
crime you
people
have
to
done.
speak.
You will be penalized in the
I
court.
apologize.
If
I
people vote in
apologize
2000.
for this, and I'm sorry that we can't continue. It is my effort to try and give everybody a chance to speak, but if this happens, then I need to move on. Now, earlier on in the day, we did an interview with Dr. Abhishek Manu Singhvi to give the Congress perspective. I also spoke to Mukul Rohatgi, who takes a contrarian view. He speaks about why he believes that the action against Rahul Gandhi was important and that it is a beacon of a judgment. So let's play out these two interviews and listen in to what they said. You know, Section 8.3 of the Representation of Peoples Act 1951 is absolutely clear. A person convicted of any offence sentenced to imprisonment for not less than 2 years shall be disqualified from the date of such a conviction. This being the case, does the Congress really have any immediate option other than going to another court? I understand the political points that you're making, but this is a court judgment.
Look, Vishnu, a judgment has come yesterday. A stay of conviction is required. Any stay of conviction requires a judgment to be studied, a paper book made, an appeal made, filed, listed, heard by the other court higher than the magistrate court. In this case, the Sessions Court. It takes time. It takes 3-4 days. Within 1 day, the Election Commission in law may be entitled. Good governance and decency require them to hold their hand for a while, but it doesn't matter. We don't expect that. They have issued a disqualification. The disqualification is based entirely on one premise: conviction. If you remove the foundation, how can the Imarat stand? How can the building stand? So when we get a stay of conviction, which we are very confident of, the disqualification will be dealt with.
No, but Dr. Singhvi, you've accused the BJP or I suppose authorities within Parliament of acting with alacrity, right? That's the word that you did use.
No.
The other way of looking at it,
I use
sir, half a second, correct me, but just listen to the rest of what I'm saying. But the contrary argument to that is that they had no choice.
I'm agreeing with you. I'm saying there's no restriction in law, but the words I used were not my words. The words of the Supreme Court. In the case of a legislator from UP, see my press conference. In that legislator's case, with post-haste speed, the Election Commission issued a by-election notice.
Okay.
The Supreme Court used these words. Ultimately, didn't get a stay of conviction.
Got it.
So, we had to lose this suit. But they said you are moving with alacrity.
Okay, I take that point. I take that point. You also spoke about 202, right? Where a judge needs to call for a report. There is the entire issue of jurisdiction, and that is it the belief of the Congress? Now you've had 24 hours or so to actually, it's an order in Gujarati. Are you certain that there was no inquiry which was conducted in Kolar?
There are 3 very disturbing features of this judgment amongst many more, but I don't have time for all. One, for a first-time alleged offender, Mr. Rahul Gandhi is given the maximum punishment possible. It is never done. In a 15-minute hearing on sentencing, it is unheard of that you will give the maximum punishment. Obviously, without the maximum punishment, we could not be disqualified. Second, these dates are important before I come to your 202 point. Look at how this complainant is behaving. There is much more than meets the eye. You file a complaint, just 6 dates are important, Vishnu. You filed a complaint in April 2019 in Surat.
Yes.
The magistrate then is one Mr. Dave. Rahul Gandhi appears before that magistrate in June 2021 physically. In March 22, on a pure technicality, the complainant goes to the High Court and seeks a stay and gets a stay of his own complaint.
Right.
In the magistrate's court. He tells the High Court that the procedural infirmity state. This is in March 22. For 1 year, nothing happens. The complainant is happy sleeping. We reach February 23. February 23 this year, 7th February, Rahul Gandhi gives a speech in Parliament and he names certain people, as you know. 9 days later, on 16th February, the same complainant goes to the High Court and says, I withdraw let my trial go on post haste. On 27th February, after a 1 year plus gap, the trial restarts. On 23rd, we get a judgment. I think this tells its own story.
No,
in
but
this
Dr.
Singhvi,
Dr. Singhvi, I'm hardly the...
Withdraws. 1 minute. Now, in this whole process, where is the time for 202? 202 point noted by the judgment and yet no 202 done. Point argued before the judgment, no 202 done. Now, in case you don't know, 202 is a special mandatory provision created where it is on the face of it clear that I have an event happening in territory X and I am going to territory Y to file, in this case, Kolar, Karnataka, to Surat, Gujarat. To decide jurisdiction, he must have an inquiry himself or through the police or direct one. The magistrate doesn't do it. Why? Because everything was state. It's only in the last month that things have been done.
No, but Dr. Singhvi, I'm just a little concerned about, what you mentioned a few sentences back. You seem to suggest that the entire system, with the judges in Surat, there was something wrong with the process, right? It was unfair at many levels. Is that not treading on dangerous territory? I mean, it's one thing to say that you disagree with what they've ruled, but to suggest that there was one judge now, there's another judge then, and that
Let us be clear. Number one, the complainant is paying ducks and drakes. He's keeping the matter pending, prolonged, and lazy. When he chooses, he's making it fast, super fast track when he chooses, especially after Rahul Gandhi's speech in Lok Sabha. The dates show that. I'm talking of facts, not inferences. Number two, the magistrate could not have possibly started the process on 27th of February and done a 202. That is an error. Of course, we are entitled to say it's complete error. The process is wrong, and therefore there is an appeal.
Well, joining us now, the senior Supreme Court lawyer, Mukul Rohatgi, somebody who's been tracking the developments and the fallout of this case very, very closely. Thanks, sir, very much for being with us. My first question to you, in the cauldron of Indian politics, given what our political leaders say, and this is true of all political leaders across parties, do you not believe that the sentence of 2 years against Rahul Gandhi was rather harsh? What is your personal view on this?
Vishnu, in the facts of this case, having studied these facts carefully, I do not think that 2 years is excessive at all.
I see.
For the following reasons. One, that this entitles you to automatic bail by the court concerned itself to enable you to appeal. If it is more than 3 years, that court has no power to grant you bail. Then your chances depend on the appellate court. Number two, please do not forget that the personalities involved are supposed to be responsible people heading responsible parties. The one making the allegation is representing the oldest democratic party in this country, who has a following of lakhs of people, where people follow what and believe what a big political leader says. The greater the responsibility, the greater should be your circumspection in terms of what you speak. And you are making wanton and scurrilous allegations, scandalous, if I may use the phrase, against the Prime Minister, just because he has a surname which is akin to the surname of two people which the accused says are thieves, namely Lalit Modi and that Nirav Modi. It is clear, it's not even an innuendo, it's not even an indirect thing, it's a clear attack on the Prime Minister.
Okay.
Just because he happens to have a surname, that's the direct attack. And the larger issue is that you have attacked everybody with that surname, and there may be more than 1 or 10 crore of those people. So it's a very, very scathing, wrong, scandalous statement which affects hundreds of people, which affects the thinking of people. And if you read the offence of defamation under section 499 of the Indian Penal Code, made nearly more than 50 years ago, it says when you speak which is intended to harm the reputation or character of a person, or even if you did not intend, but you knew it will harm, these two either way will bring home the offence, unless there are some exceptions that it is for public good, etc., etc.